camera or Hello Kitty camera, you should get a box which looks something like this, and I of course have already opened mine, but I'll just quickly go through everything that you get inside. So when you open it, you should get a pack, not really a pack, a sheet of stickers, close-up lens, a pack of Hello Kitty films, which is 10 pieces, and instruction manual. And somehow my instruction manual is inside some really tempting bubble wrap, and I just feel like popping each and every one now. So anyhow, let's just continue. So of course, aside from all of those accessories, you should get the actual Hello Kitty camera, and without further ado, let's just get on to the tips and tricks and hacks and whatever I'm gonna be showing you guys today. So the very first tip that I have for you guys is to cover the flash for darker shots using your finger or hand, and you could even use tape for this, but just cover the flash if you want a more darker shot. Tip number 2 is to change the settings for lighter shots, and there is a specific way to do this, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that right now. So this camera has 5 different settings: indoors, cloudy, sunny, very sunny, and high key. Now high key doesn't have a setting lighting indication next to it. This is because it is an optional setting that you could use if you want a more specific type of Polaroid shot. So if you were to hold your camera in front of you like this to make the picture brighter or lighter, all you have to do is to move the dial one setting forward to the right hand side, just like this. Now, a frequently asked question is, what is high key? High key is a photography term for a type of lighting. Using high key makes the picture very light and reduces the lighting ratio in a picture. So you want to make sure that when you're outdoors, you do not use high key because your picture could end up becoming very, very light and white. Now tip number 3 is to avoid taking pictures in front of mirrors or anything reflective to prevent film damage. So here is an example of why you shouldn't take pictures in front of mirrors or anything reflective. This is because your film could end up like this, and hopefully that will not happen to you guys, because I have definitely learned from my mistake. Tip number 4 is actually quite optional, but use close-up lens for less blurry shots, especially if you are taking pictures from 35 centimeters to 50 centimeters. So for example, you're taking selfies or close-up pictures, be sure to use close-up lens to make the picture much clearer. And if you want a close-up lens, I will link a shop or a store in the description box below so that you could easily get one. Tip number 5 is taking pictures from 0.6 meters to 2.7 meters for clearer shots. This is because your films can end up like this, very dark, no details at all, and that will literally just be a waste of films, so you don't want that to happen. Just make sure that you take pictures in between 0.6 meters to 2.7 meters. Tip number 6 is either taking the picture portrait or landscape for taking selfies, and this literally just depends on the amount of people that you are taking a selfie with. So if there are 4 or more people, take it landscape, and if there's 1 person to 3 people, then take it portrait. So tip number 7 is to protect your films when traveling, and obviously when you travel you'll have to go through a lot of x-rays, especially in the airports. So to protect your films, all you have to do is put your films inside a Ziploc baggie or a bubble wrap like what I'm doing here, and then put that bubble wrap inside another bag, and that will literally just protect your films from getting exposed or getting damaged from the x-rays. So now I'm just going to share with you guys a couple of mistakes that I have done when taking Polaroids or Polaroid shots, and most of these are because they were taken from a very far distance, and the reason why they're mainly just black and very dark. Now this one right here was taken very closely. The reason why it's quite blurry because I did not use close-up lens, and I really should have used it, but I decided not to for some reason. And yeah, so most of these were literally just taken from a far distance. There are a couple of things I recommend when taking Polaroid pictures. This will literally just improve your Polaroid taking skills, hopefully. Just make sure that you take Polaroids outdoors. It's better to take them outdoors than indoors, to be honest, because of the lighting. Just take the risk. Take the photos from all sorts of angles. You know, I've wasted quite a lot of films experimenting, and you could do that too, because you will literally learn a lot of things, and hopefully by the time you have learned from your mistakes, you'll have all sorts of Instagram-worthy Polaroids.